Yo, what up guys, your boy Williams Fitness back again with another video, and today we're going to talk about Calum von Mogler, his content that he's putting out on his Instagram stories, how insane it is, everything's gone crazy, and we're only going to be talking about the content that's been on his social media these past few days. So let's take a look at it. So apparently what happened was last night, he'd hit in his truck. He allegedly swapped the number plates on. There was a clip that I haven't got for you that was on his Instagram story. He has been posting and deleting, Some of the clips I do have for you, so stick around. So what happened was he allegedly was given a truck from a friend, and he's apparently not even allowed to be driving. He then allegedly changed the number plates on this vehicle. Later that night, some people do believe allegedly that he was under the influence of maybe drugs or alcohol. No one's quite sure on that, so it's just speculation at this point. He then hit a kangaroo in the middle of the road. What then happened after that was insane. So naturally what he did was he picked up the kangaroo and put it in the back of his truck, then started doing some really messed up stuff with this kangaroo. Like, he apologized to it, stroked it, and this kangaroo was obviously dead at this point. Then started fondling the kangaroo in some weird way, and then I thought that'd be the end of it. I thought that's pretty weird, but he's obviously doing the right thing with the carcass, the body of the kangaroo. He's obviously going to take it somewhere, maybe bury it. That was my thought, because he's a massive animal lover, and I need to point that out. This guy's a huge animal lover. He loves dogs. You know, you've seen him in the past, always visiting different zoos in different cities, and I want to make that point. This is not like a hate video towards Calum, but it does get very, very weird very quickly. So I thought that was the end of it. Kenny KO did a video about it last night. A lot of people were talking about it on social media. Then this clip came up in the morning. He then chopped off the tail of the kangaroo and the head, and then went on to say he's keeping the head, he's giving the tail of the carcass to his dog. And I was like, okay, I'm trying to think logically why you would do that. And obviously he's hit a kangaroo, which is quite a common thing, I need to point out, in Australia, to actually knock one of these things over in a vehicle, especially at night time. They just literally dash across the road, and there's footage of that actually happening later on, so just stick around. So what he'd done was he'd cut the tail off to give to his dog, and then he'd chopped the head off and the hands and the feet. Don't know what that was for. Obviously his intentions, I'm presuming, were good, but it was the whole posting it to social media aspect of it that I didn't understand. He did put a content warning up there before people got to that page, but naturally, like a car crash, you drive past it, you slow down to see what's going on. We're just inquisitive. So this happened, and then on social media, on his Instagram story. So I'm thinking, right, okay, so he's obviously wanting to reuse the parts of this animal for his animal, so nothing like goes to waste. But then it gets weirder. He then grabs what's remaining of the body, throws it in his truck, and you see him later on that day. He pulls over at night time, throws it on the curbside, so back in the road, might not have even been in the same position, next to another baby kangaroo that's been knocked over, and even checks the gender of this kangaroo, and then leaves this headless, tailless, pawless kangaroo on the roadside. What is wrong with you at this point? I'm sorry, I am saying this, and I'm saying it out loud. Why would you do that if you're caring about animals, but then discard of it back on the roadside? What, because that's back to nature? Why wouldn't you just bury it, even if it was in your own garden or somewhere else in the field? Like, take a spade. You're a big guy. It'd take you 5 minutes to dig a hole for a kangaroo, surely. Just did not make sense to me. Did not make sense to me. I know he's got a lot going on. I know the Staunch company is sort of shutting down, which is one of the supplement companies he started. He's got family issues. I'm not here to touch on that. That's none of my business. That's personal to him. But when you are putting this content out on your social media for your 3+ million followers, begs to question what your frame of mind was. It just, honestly, it baffles me, guys. It absolutely baffles me. Why? Like, I was like trying to keep a trail of thought with him as to why he was doing these things, but then it got to a point where as soon as he put it back on the roadside after hacking it apart, but then keeping the head, like, that in itself is for what? For what? What do you want the head for? It's wrong. In my opinion, I think it's wrong. What do you guys think? I'm not trying to hate on the guy, but I just think someone needs needs to take this guy's phone. Someone needs to sit him down and say, Luke, just stop. Calm everything down. Maybe come off social media for a bit. Maybe speak to someone. If your friends are encouraging this sort of behavior and knowing you're getting backlash for this behavior, at some point you've got to call it a day. Somebody's got to pull you on this and say, Calum, no. Just stop. Anyway, guys, I want to know your guys' opinion on this. Again, this is not the usual content I do. You know, I'm good friends with Kenny. I'm a fan of Calum. I had been a fan of Calum for years. I've even got a picture with him back in like 2015 or 2016 or something to Body Power. Do you know what I mean? I've been a fan of Calum for a long time. It's just not nice to see somebody that you had a lot of respect and love for and admiration, thinking you've got a lot of potential in the industry, whether that was competing or not competing, to have this epic downward spiral that's being put out there so publicly. On that note, guys, I've been me, you've been you. Peace.